you're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
So are we on the eve of destruction? Well, so much is happening. And now North Korea, these troops are going to be helping Russia in the war of Ukraine. There's so much stuff. They're also Russia helping the Houthis. All about this is Brigadier General retired Anthony Tata of the U.S. Army. He also has a brand new book out. It is called The Phalanx Code. General Tata, it's so great to have you here on Katz and Cosby. Are we on the eve of destruction? It seems like things are really escalating.
Hey, Rita, great to be with you guys. I'll tell you what, it is escalating, and the incompetence of the Harris, Biden, Blinken, Austin regime has driven our enemies together in a big way. When I was the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, I managed the National Defense Strategy, and it listed 4 adversaries: China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. And those adversaries were to be dealt with using maximum pressure, leveraging all elements of national power: economic, information messaging, diplomatic, military. And right now what you have is a feckless and weak administration leveraging no power against any of them. And they seem more concerned with maximum pressure on Israel than on Iran or North Korea or Russia or China, for that matter. And so when our adversaries come together this way, right under our nose, in a way that is very clear to the world, it's a finger in the eye of the United States. And frankly, we're seeing now North Korea sending troops to Russia to train there, to go to Ukraine, and then potentially other operations on the Arabian Peninsula. So it's a big deal, and they're doing it very publicly, and they're sending a message.
Yeah, what should our response be, General Tata, too, as we're hearing all of this? Because it's, there are reports that these Ukrainian troops for Russia in Ukraine will be there in a matter of days. What should a real U.S. leader be doing or saying?
Well, you kind of got to unpack it. You got to unwind it and say we should have never gotten there in the first place. But now that we're there, should we get a new administration in, and should we have new, hopefully, State Department and defense officials? The things we should be doing is talking to North Korea, talking to China, talking to Russia, and putting maximum pressure on Iran, and saying, hey, look, if you keep doing this, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we can impact your economy. We can do other things to you that make life very difficult for you. What Putin is trying to do is change the math of the Ukrainian situation. And frankly, the Ukraine has a finite number of troops, and Russia seems to have an endless supply of troops. And so it's a war of exhaustion, and attrition. And eventually what you get is it's a math problem. If Russia allied with China and North Korea and Iran, all of whom are helping Russia in Ukraine, continue to pour people in there, it's going to come to this tipping point, this decision point about whether or not NATO gets involved to change the calculus, change the math. I do not advocate that. I think that we should have a diplomatic solution in Ukraine with Russia. Nobody cared. Nobody got all up in arms and claimed that Obama was a Putin stooge when he didn't do anything about Putin taking Crimea and part of the Donbass.
Yeah, great
back
point.
In 2014, right? And so nobody was saying, the world's going to end, or NATO's going to be steamrolled by the Russian horde and the Russian machine. It was just accepted as part of a diplomatic process called the Normandy format that brought Russia, Ukraine, France, and Germany together in 2014. And, there's been no diplomacy here. So how you circumvent all this is you reach a deal, you tell Zelensky to shut up and color, and you partition off whatever needs to be partitioned off. And these territorial disputes go back centuries, if not millennia. And so who's to say where the right boundary is? Sure, it's a violation of international norms to cross and attack another state boundary. That's happened. We have to deal with it, and we got to find a path forward instead of Zelensky's rather immature. Not only do I want all of Ukraine back, but I want Crimea back as well. And he knows he can't do that. And what he's trying to do is get NATO on the ground there and create, frankly, World War III, because it would be, Russia, Iran, North Korea, China against NATO and other Western nations. And it would be
and one thing goes wrong, then you have World War III.
Yeah, what a mess. What a mess. Well, General Anthony Tata, thank you very much. Again, the new book is The Phalanx Code. Thank you, General. Great to have you here. Thank you.
All right, team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we've been talking about some of the rhetoric coming from Democrats against Trump. Really stunning. And also foreign money going into some of the voting potentially.
You got dark money going in. We have Miranda Devine coming up, and she may have some additional information.